They keep finding bags of Coke everywhere. Yeah. Everywhere he goes. The State of the Union was not too long ago. Bag of Coke in the Capitol. They just found one.
Well,
right.
Yeah.
Wasn't there one
in the White House as
yeah,
well?
yeah. I mean,
but
there's
it's, okay, it's
They're
not,
all
it's
over
not
the
like
White
they
House,
keep
yeah.
cameras there, so we could never know.
And
right?
they got DNA. They got DNA on the bag of Coke, and they won't tell us who it is.
Yeah,
they have the DNA samples.
Well, the Biden will never tell us
it's at
anything.
Quantico. It's at Quantico. It's at the FBI labs, and they have the DNA
Why
on it.
tell us they have it?
They're protecting somebody.
But like, why even say? Wouldn't they just look at the bag on the ground, look around, and then shuffle it under the rug, figuratively?
Yeah,
you know,
right.
The interesting thing about this is that there are only a few people who get waved into the White House. So, have you ever been to the White House?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, you don't get waved in.
You don't get waved in. Only family members get waved in. If I go to the White House, I've been to the White House a couple times, you have to actually go through this humiliating, degrading situation where you stand on a giant rubber mat and a German Shepherd, an angry-looking German Shepherd that's massive, okay, I don't know where they breed these things.
Germany, maybe.
It like smells you. It's really humiliating.
Literally smells
and you stand there and it smells you for drugs.
Yeah.
And you have to go through go through this process
I've
to
done
go into
that.
the White House. And there's no way somebody's getting a bag of Coke into the White House. No normal person is getting a bag of Coke into the White House because you have to go through that process.
They give you like a badge first, right? It's
I went there. Only
once.
afterwards. Yeah, only afterwards you get your badge after you've gone through obviously very
You have to
rigorous
be
screening.
pre-vetted with your social security number, all
Right.
of that, and like have an
Criminal
appointment.
background,
Yeah, way more than airport security. But
Yes.
you're going through a similar process with wanding and all that.
Yep.
I would say they don't just wave
Family members.
No,
That's it.
but they don't
Yeah.
even wave them in. They rush them in. Like
Family members,
Family
yeah.
members are under guard and brought in
Yeah.
through everything because
Yep.
those are the people they're trying to protect from you.
Yeah, but there's another twist here that's very interesting. So these were in lock boxes that were on the bottom level next to the Situation Room that normal people don't go into. Okay, so if you're a visitor to the White House, if you're there on a tour and it's just some crankhead kid who just wants to get a hit blow in the White House, it'd be just great. I don't. You can tell. You can tell I've used so many drugs. I'm so good with my lingo.
Yeah.
I'll stick with assault. I'll stick with assault memes. But it wasn't that person. What I'm saying is this was you have to know the White House. This was at a entrance that you only go through if you are a member of family or a member of staff. It wasn't at an entrance that was accessible to a tourist group or to a bunch of kids.
Benny, I feel like you're onto something. We need to make a film in the style of like Harold and Kumar Go to White Castle. But it's about some college kids whose dream is to do blow in the White House.
Specifically White House.
Think about what it would be like in the White House, the one place you can't get in. And then just the shenanigans of them doing a heist, but it's just to do drugs. And then
watch it.
that explains how it got there. It's just,
To rip a rail off the bust of Teddy Roosevelt.
Oh my gosh.
You're saying that's the American dream?
I'm saying that's my American dream.
Well, so the latest news is what it was like Capitol Police found more.
Yeah.
Just laying around on the floor. Inside of the Capitol Police Bureau.
Did
Just
anybody check
regular
where
things.
Hunter's at?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. So
I feel bad for that family. I really, because, you look at the Ashley Biden diary, which is now confirmed. Snopes has confirmed it.
Yep.
She writes in there that she thinks she was molested. She writes in there on that same page that her dad was taking showers with her, which she thought were inappropriate. I think she's making an accusation against her dad. And it's remarkable that you can have people try to defend that. So I got to tell you, I think Joe Biden abused his kids. That's why they're kind of, traumatized. I'll call it that. Doesn't absolve them of their sin, but,
So just really quickly here, there's a book out about Joe Biden's Secret Service detail when he was vice president, and women would ask to be taken off the Secret Service detail because Joe Biden was naked so much. This is a known fact. This is reported out. This is in a
swim
book
naked,
from a leftist, okay, or for the Washington Post. But he said that Joe Biden, part of his book was the women would beg to be taken off because Joe Biden would swim naked. He'd wander around naked. He'd talk to them completely naked. And this was at the vice president's residence. This wasn't in Wilmington. This was in the center of Washington, D.C., in one observatory circle where the vice president lives. It's a military base, and Joe Biden's just walking around with dick and balls out.
this explains corn pop.
Oh my god. Headline.
No, but it does. Like, my theory is that, because he told that story where he's like, I got hairy legs. And the kids, they'd rub my legs and the hair would come up. You're corn pop. You're just some local dude. And there's Joe Biden trying to get naked. He's at the pool and the kids are rubbing his legs. And you're like, yo, get away from them kids, dude. And then he's like, I think Corn Pop challenged him to a fight because Joe was doing this weird stuff with kids.
Corn Pop was the hero all along.
I think
Somebody has to find this guy and interview him. I need to know.
I am dead serious when I think that's probably what happened. This story that he called the guy Esther Williams, so he
Yeah.
challenged him to a fight with a straight. Get out of here. In the same breath, he's telling the story, he says the kids are rubbing his legs in the pool. Corn Pop goes, hey man, you stay away from them kids. And then Joe Biden whips out a chain and slams it on the ground. And they're like,
Stories are
yo, we don't want to
connected.
fight.
There we go.
The stories are connected.
Yeah,
I
that
think
makes
so.
sense.
Well, because it was at
Same
the pool.
speech, yeah,
It was the same speech at the pool. And it's like, why did he tell the story about Corn Pop and the kids rubbing his hairy legs at the same time? It's because he's imagining that moment.
Yeah.
Look, when you
I
look at
don't
the
doubt it.
videos of him touching the kids, I'm like, I gotta be honest. He says the kids are rubbing his legs. He's on video sniffing kids, and then you hear a story about a guy trying to fight him because he called him Esther. Oh, get out of here, dude! Corn Pop was trying to protect those kids. I really do think that. I do.
That's the movie that needs to be made.
Corn Pop the movie.
With the
Legend.
entire
I
soundtrack.
watched
with
that.
the
I watched
entire
that.
soundtrack, original soundtrack from Nickelback.
I was gonna say that we're onto something here. Yeah.
I think the Biden family is just not anyone's cup of tea. Like, I don't know anyone who saw what was his granddaughter who got married in the White House. No one looked at that wedding and was like, great. Like, everyone sort of just gives it a wide berth. No one is excited about the Biden family. And I think it's because there is a lot of sort of dark energy there. It's not the same reception that you see to not just like Trump's family, but other even Democratic families. Like,
Yeah, like everyone loved the Obamas. I
Right.
mean, Michelle Obama, the daughters. No one is crazy about Jill Biden. I mean, they'll defend her being a doctor every now and then, but like no one's fawning
you don't
over
want
Jill
that
Biden.
kind of doctor when you have a heart attack. This is it. Like, she can teach English all she wants, but that's not the move. But you're right. They love the Obamas. I mean, it's just there is something off about the family, and they can't do anything to make them marketable, and that's interesting.
Could you
He's been in
imagine-
There's
politics
only,
his
like,
whole life.
One group of people that don't like the Obamas, and that's 16-year-old American citizens in Yemen.
That's true.
Yeah. Maybe all of the 100,000 Yemenis children who are dead. You know, and the other Americans.
Not a big voting constituency, though, so he doesn't have to worry about it.
Middle
Yeah.
Eastern wedding attendants. No.
It's I feel bad for Corn Pop because I'm imagining what he must have been thinking when he saw Biden get, the vice presidency and then the presidency. He's just sitting there like, my God,
What have we done?
yeah, the people must know, and then that's it. No one ever heard from him again.
But that's why, I mean, I think I'm looking at Newsom, and I think it's really weird that the governor of California is doing national events. Like, he's going to, like, bookstores in Iowa. He's doing interviews, again, nationwide television, talking about Biden's accomplishments. It's like he's campaigning on behalf of Biden because Biden's incapable of doing it. I just think it's a weird move for him to be doing if he just wants to be governor of California.
But he doesn't. I mean, if he doesn't get a chance earlier, he'll run in 2028 for sure.
Well,
Not that anyone would want him to, but I guess California.
So Tucker was on Joe Rogan's podcast, and he says Gavin Newsom just called me the other day. Why is Gavin Newsom calling Tucker Carlson? Why
Just
is
to
Gavin
check
Newsom?
in,
Hey,
see how you
how you
doing.
doing, Tucker?
bestie.
I'm gonna go back to what I said in November. Imagine Joe Biden is doing rallies. He's in California for a rally, and he's on stage, and he says, we're gonna win again 4 more years, and then he grabs his chest. Newsom throws his jacket, runs out full speed, pulling his sleeves up. CPR saves the president's life. And then everyone's shocked and gasped. Secret Service, they come, they pull Biden out. And then, news reports Biden is in stable condition. He suffered a heart event, but he is okay. Gavin Newsom then does the entire press junket, every single outlet. Everyone wants the interview. You saved the president's life. What happened? He says, look, I was doing what any American would have done. And and then Joe Biden can come out and say, ladies and gentlemen, people of America, I think it is just past my time in suffering this injury. I don't think I can be the leader you need me to be. But there is someone who has proven he has the leadership skills. Boom.
I think even if
Gavin
he had,
Newsom.
that would be an interesting transition. I think even if Biden had some sort of public, undeniable health emergency, the White House would be like, no, he was just pausing for dramatic effect. Like, they would just try to walk that off as hard as possible. 'Cause
And
I don't think Biden wants to leave. I don't think Jill wants to.
and
I don't think they want to
do-
leave either, but I feel like the Democratic Party, they've got to be kind of talking amongst themselves, at the very least thinking like, all right, we are staying even if it means he's got to go. Because it's for them, it's bigger than just Joe Biden.
Right.
Joe Biden has a heart attack. Then Karine Jean-Pierre is doing the press briefing. Ducey's like, can you comment on the president suffering a heart attack? And she goes, he didn't have a heart attack. That's not what happened. He was just pausing for dramatic effect. And it's like, we all watched him grip his chest and groan. It was a metaphor, and he was making a statement about the state of this country.
He was just moved by his feelings for America.
Yeah, he was actually citing the Pledge of Allegiance. Next question.
No, they really would. I mean, anything Biden does, they just try to be like, you remember there was a while where she was like, no, he has been to the border. Like,
Yeah.
he's been a public official for years and years and years. Like, everyone can verify
Him
that he
and
hadn't been
Kamala. Kamala was saying it like she was like getting irritated to like every reporter asking. She's like, "We've been to the border. We've been to the border. We're going."
Are you
The
guys
royal-
all delusional?
Yeah.
Like, I
like,
don't
no,
know
you
what
haven't.
to say here. And then they were like, no, we're going now. It's fine. Now that you guys have all called us out. But it was our idea first.
Do they really live in the world where they're like, let's just keep lying? CNN is no longer backing them. Thanks for checking out this clip from Timcast IRL. Make sure to watch the show live Monday through Friday at 8 p.m. Subscribe to this channel, and we will see you all there.